Can we start? Okay. Uh, Good morning and good afternoon to everyone. So I welcome all of you for Cisco Umbrella Open DNS free seminar. Let me introduce myself, and I'm Hadi Muhammad Ismail, CCIE Security. I have 14 years of experience on IT security and focused on network security, data center, and cyber security products. Worked in Fortune MNC companies like IBM, Xerox, Atos, HCL, and focused on infrastructure projects in US, Europe, Asia, and India local market. I thank IT Expert and BSA Crescent Academy to giving me this wonderful chance to give a free Cisco Umbrella Open DNS webinar for all the students and the expertise. Let's start the agenda for today's webinar. So today we will start about the DNS and the DNS security and solutions, and what is Open DNS, and Open DNS comes under Cisco Umbrella, and the key feature of Cisco Umbrella, and the deployment models for this product, and DDoS attacks, and last we have Q&A session. Before going to start the session, let me ask the question all of you. Are we 100% compliant in our internet world? We can say no. How secure we are now? So everyone are using DNS requests for internet. So is it protected? So we have to check each and every aspect how we are protected in the internet world. Let's talk about today's session, Open DNS, Cisco Umbrella. It's mainly the enforcement. I can say it's an enforcement technology, and it has the network security services and protect any device and anywhere, and it will do the investigation. It is also the intelligent proxy, how it intercepts and proxies the request for malicious files and embedded within the certain so-called gray domains. So it has a threat intelligence on domain and IP across the internet. So what is a DNS? So DNS is a crucial component for the internet. Most internet users never know they are using the DNS. Just they open the browser and they access the website, whatever they want. Right? But that they do so hundreds of times per day. Each and every browser, each and every click, there is a DNS request. So how it works? So client is going to DNS servers. There is a DNS server in the ISP. Then it will go each and every process like a root DNS, top level DNS, then authoritative name servers where your request will come to the client. This is how the DNS is developed. Now, coming to that, why add security at the DNS layer? Now, you do customer, okay, they don't know how secure they are in the network. So why do customer want to add security at the DNS layer? So you now understand the ability of DNS to cover any device, any location, right? But many security products don't cover any port or protocol used by threats. By using the DNS, we can cover these gaps. So here you can see, according to the research done by LAN Co, 15% of command and control callbacks did not use web ports. So the standard web ports is 80 and 443, but for the attack, they are not using the standard ports. They are using a different ports, which comes under the IP layer. So 91% command and control can be blocked at the DNS layer. So if you protect the DNS. So most of the web security products won't have any visibility or the ability to block the C2 connection that are trying to communicate with the attacker for more intrusion. In this, the umbrella, Cisco umbrella OpenDNS covers any port and protocol, and which is a big selling point when you consider attacks like these that may use non-standard ports. So if you're using any non-standard ports, this technology will block and give the security layer. So advantage of a DNS-based solution. The elegance of DNS is that everything used it's already today. So it does not matter who owns the device, how you have set up your network, or what OS or apps are running. Okay, they all work with the DNS the same. So this is a very easy deployment. So when you go for a DNS-based secure solution. Now coming to the OpenDNS. OpenDNS, the name is called or refers to the DNS concept of being open, where queries from any source are accepted. There is no specific restriction. Only this source can send the queries. So any source can send the queries. It's accepted in OpenDNS. So OpenDNS was founded in 2006 with the mission to provide a safer, faster, and better internet browsing experience for all users. Initially, OpenDNS provided a recursive DNS service for use at home. And in 2009, they introduced a service for the enterprises market. In 2012, OpenDNS launched an enterprises security product called Umbrella. It's a rapid success, and customer adoption lead to OpenDNS being acquired by Cisco in 2015. So this is a journey for OpenDNS. The OpenDNS is very easy to implement internet navigation and web security solution for families, schools, governmental organizations, and businesses of all the sizes. So why OpenDNS? At OpenDNS, they prove their uptime. 100% uptime since they launched in 2006, and work hard to maintain the status as the best in the industry. Each day, they process over 5 billion DNS queries. And right now, 65 million and the business and home user are using. So it's another feature is any port, protocol, and app. One of the technology that helps them to maintain the great availability. So right now in internet, whenever you look to have the good one, it's availability. That availability they provide from the technology called Anycost. They are using the technology called Anycost. So 80 million malicious requests blocked per day in their cloud. Okay, so it's a security research team. They have a unique team and automated classification, and they are using any cost BGP peer relationship and 3D SEO engine. So in the demo, I will show how the cloud-based portal. With any cost, they are using the same public IP address, exist in the multiple server around the world. So OpenDNS currently operates cluster of name server at 30 unique locations around the world. All of the DNS server operate with the same IP address, which means that are over 100 of machines with the same IP address. I will show the DNS IP address in the demo. Okay. So currently these are the main one, and you can see 13 sites here. So Singapore, Hong Kong, Amsterdam, and this is Europe, this is US. So few more sites are updated. Now coming to the Cisco umbrella. So as I informed you earlier, the journey. So OpenDNS is a company which started in 2006, and 2015, Cisco acquired OpenDNS. The umbrella is the brand name in OpenDNS. Now these are the two IP you can see here. The DNS IP, which used across the globe for anywhere, any place. Cisco umbrella provides the first line of defense against threat on the internet wherever user go, and it will analyzing and learning from internet activity patterns. Okay. The umbrella automatically uncovers the attacker infrastructure stage of current and emerging the threats, and proactively blocks the malicious request before they reach a customer's network or endpoints. With the Cisco umbrella, the customer can stop phishing, malware, infection earlier, identify the already infected device faster, and prevent the data exploit. Because of umbrella is built into the foundation of internet and delivered from the cloud, it provides complete visibility into the internet activity across all the location and users. So whenever that is a basic demand right now in any enterprises. So they need a service availability and the visibility. So these two things is provided by Cisco umbrella. The other one is the simplest security product, so you can easily deploy and manage. So you can integrate with the existing environment. There is no need a new hardware to deploy, so you can integrate with the existing one. So now coming where it fits. So now the question to everyone, how do you use to protect your network, your endpoint? Okay, the probable have a range of product deployed at your corporate headquarters. This is headquarters and branches and laptops. That means it's a roaming users. So umbrella, how it works? Umbrella can be the first layer of defense against the threat by preventing devices from connecting to malicious or likely malicious sites in the first place, which significantly reduce the change of malware getting to your network and endpoint. Umbrella use DNS as one of the main mechanism to get traffic to your cloud platform, and then use it to enforce security policies. So once the request coming to the cloud, it will enforce the policy to the endpoint if the endpoint is before getting to the malicious activity. So DNS is foundation components, how the internet works, and used by every device in the network, right? So without DNS, the device or the servers or the endpoint cannot access the internet. So way before the malware file is downloaded or before an IP connection over any port or any protocol is even established, there is a DNS request. So that is the main use and where the umbrella fits. So it's mainly the IP connection. So file execution and the IP connection used by all the devices in your environment. So it could be the network, it could be the branch office, it could be the headquarters, it could be the endpoint. So this is the built-in foundation of internet. Umbrella provides enforcement without delay, so it will provide the enforcement. Umbrella use DNS to enforce security, but how does this work? When Umbrella receives the DNS request, okay, the DNS request is the first identify which customer the request came from. Then the policy will apply to that particular user. So the next, what the Umbrella will does, if the request is the safe or whitelist, if it is a malicious or blacklisted or risky. So the same way, for the example, if the safe request is coming to Umbrella Cloud from the user, we route the connection as usual. There is no blocking. If the connection is malicious, we route the connection to the block page. So the user can see the block page in the browser. This site is a malicious site. If it is a risky request, if it is not in the Umbrella database, then the Umbrella route the connection to the cloud-based proxy for deeper inspection. There's the intelligent people who develop the each and every malicious packet and update into the database to the cloud. The power of OpenDNS plus Cisco. So recall the DNS is used on every network. Just recalling the previous discussion. So each and every the network and endpoint that exist in the organization need a DNS, right? Even the IoT devices rely on DNS. It does not require deploying a new appliance in the network. It does not require changing WCCP on the network. You manage or deploying pack files from the servers to push the browser-based restriction to the endpoint and redirect the web traffic. Okay, it's like a Proxy filtering, and we don't care if the web traffic is encrypted also. So how long it will take? It takes only 30 minutes to cover the dozen of locations, thousand of devices. It is the fastest and the easiest way to stop the vast majority of threats trying to affect your system and explore your data. Because DNS besides every IP connection, we cut the number of security alerts generated by the rest of the customer, security stack in off or move. So that is the main thing for the OpenDNS in Cisco. So this is where the DNS layer is coming to the picture. So no added latency, vision globally under 30 minutes. So if you have already the Cisco devices, it's very easy to deploy. If you have a non-Cisco devices, that's also very easy. You just find the DNS IP to the cloud Umbrella DNS IP. So this is the deployment. There are three ways you can deploy the OpenDNS. The first one is a very normal on-network protection. So you can protect, you have a device in your network, you have any gateway like a router or firewall or any device like a home user also. Okay, you have a wireless router or you have a DSL connectivity or you have fiber connectivity in your home. So each and every device, you can see the DNS IP, right? So normally the DNS IP, they will give the ISP IP. So instead of using the ISP IP, you can use the public IP. So this device, public IP is registered. So each and every gateway or device has a public IP. So that public IP I register in the cloud umbrella, okay, the DNS, open DNS system. So whenever any request, then that will send this device will send the connection to the open DNS cloud, where your all the security policy will enforce from the device. This is the first method. The second one is the DNS servers. So each and every network you have a separate DNS servers. So without using the gateway of the DNS servers or public IP. So the first method, people what they will use, either they will use the ISP DNS IP or they can use the Google IP like 8.8.8.8 or 8.8.4.4 in their DNS setting. Okay, the second one, they do have the local DNS server, their domain, and all their local devices will communicate to the local DNS servers. This DNS server will connect to the public servers. So that IP could be the ISP IP or it could be the Google DNS IP. So in this case, so all the traffic will go to the local DNS server. This DNS server has the, here we configuring the forward lookup to the cloud DNS IP, the umbrella IP. Then all the requests will come into the DNS server. Then this DNS server will forward to the cloud IP instead of the other DNS server. So where you have the cloud DNS IP, so all the traffic will inspect and it will push the security enforcement. This is the second one. The deployment third model is virtual appliance, where you can install the virtual appliance, umbrella virtual appliance. So all your device will come to the virtual appliance and it will communicate to the Cisco cloud DNS servers. This is only for the outside traffic. How about if you have the local domains? So that cannot be forward to the outside DNS IP. So that one in the umbrella VA, we configure the local DNS domain name to the local DNS server. So whenever any request is coming to the public, that will go to the cloud. Cloud means it's going to the Cisco umbrella portal, where the inspection and the security policy enforcement will be done. If it is anything local domain name, if the device want to access, then the traffic will forward to the local DNS servers. Then the local DNS will happen here itself. So this is a three-way of deployment. And this is more like a granular control and visibility based on the IP and based on the user account you can have, because this virtual appliance, umbrella virtual appliance, you can install any VM and this will communicate to the cloud Cisco umbrella DNS servers. Okay, this is how the deployment so far. Now coming to the DDoS attack, the massive one which happened in DINE. So distributed of denial of service attack. So DINE, it's a company, so Internet Performance Management and Web Application Security company, offering products to monitor, control, optimize online infrastructure, also domain registration services.
and email products. You can say the DNS, you can register in the DIME. So in 2016, DIME sites, the cyber attack took place on October 21st and involved multiple distributed denial of service attacks, DDoS attacks, targeting system operated by domain name system provided DIME, which caused major internet platform and the service to be unavailable to large business of users in Europe and North America. The hundred of web services, including Twitter, Payball, Octobox, become inaccessible or very slow as the TTL expire in the DDoS attack. So also some of the other affected sites is Amazon, CNN, and Twitter, WhatsApp, all the sites affected during this attack. So this is called authoritative DNS. So now coming to the difference between authoritative DNS and recursive DNS. So recursive DNS primarily blocks command and control callbacks, malware, and phishing, whereas ADNS primarily blocks DDoS attacks and protocol exploits. So this is the main differences. And the domain name was created so that you don't have to memorize the IP address for every website you want to visit. There are two main components for the DNS, which we've seen, ADNS or RDNS. So RDNS is mainly for the IP address of the domain. Whenever an end user clicks on the link or type the domain or URL, this is what the OpenDNS does. But if you go for ADNS, the mapping between the domain name and IP address. So this is what was attacked in DIME business. So the smart OpenDNS. So now coming to the smart cache on OpenDNS. So recursive DNS and the authoritative DNS. Okay, the OpenDNS global network use the technology called smart cache. Okay, which will return the last known good IP address whenever the A servers are unavailable. During this DDoS attack, once our system realized DIME DNS was not available, all the service returned to the last known good address, which eliminate any end user impact for OpenDNS users. So this is how it works. So you have here you can see where is the abc.com. So it's coming to the RDNS and it will respond TTL cache, and again it will send the request. So it will going to the ADNS, then the response coming back. Then if the time is unknown, then no answer to fail. So you will get the response from the ADNS. So whenever any request is going to the cloud, this is the process how it works. Okay. So far what we have seen, we cover the DNS, the basic fundamental, and what is this Cisco OpenDNS, and how does it work, and what are the benefits, what are the deployment model. Let me show the lab demo, so how it works in real time. So I will open the site. So this is the, okay. Okay, this is something like Cisco Cloud Lab session. So here you can see the lab. So I registered the lab in the Cloud DNS, D Cloud, we call it the D Cloud, where you have all the setup inside. So this lab session is very interesting, where you can do the lab as real time. So let me open one of the, okay. So this is, okay. So this is how it's look like in the cloud of DNS, Cisco Umbrella. So this is the your portal where you can see everything. So you have all the controls from the cloud DNS. So you have one IP, tested IP. Okay. Then here you can see all the security policy, all the policy or policy, whatever policy you're going to define here, you can set it. And all the policy you can see what are the default policy. So you have the command and control fallback, malware, phishing attack will be blocked. This is a default setting, and the file inspection also can be blocked, and you can have the custom block page. So you have you can add the block list IP address. So whenever any end user is trying to access the block IP address, so that will block by the OpenDNS in the cloud. Here you have the reporting. So all your alert will come in here, and you can see. So who are all going to the malware sites? Who are all going to the having the issue right now? So how we can mitigate all the reports you can generate from here. So this is how it works, and the same thing. This is one of the server where you have the server here. So here you can see the AD server, and from the server, if you try to access the malware sites, this server it's already associated with this umbrella. So how it's associated? It's very simple. You can see from the server, you can see what is my public IP. So this is a public IP of this server. That means this server behind one internet router or internet device. So that public IP is this one. This IP I just added. I'm adding in the cloud. So after that, what happened? In that router, I specify the DNS server is going to the 220 and 222. That is a 2 IP. So after that, all the traffic from the router is coming to this cloud. Then I can able to see the traffic here. I'll push the security policy and enforce the policy to all the endpoints which is coming from that particular public IP. This is a way how the OpenDNS is work. So after that, what happened? When you go to the browser, here you can see what is your if you try to open any malware sites, okay, this is going to the cloud. So it's blocked by the Cisco Umbrella OpenDNS. So all the malware site, all the phishing site, okay, everything will get blocked by the cloud DNS. This is the advantage of the cloud DNS, and so we have a lot of labs in this one, so it's very interesting. So coming to the final one is the Q&A. So this is some checkpoint, okay, to know about the basic Cisco Umbrella. So the first one, whether the umbrella is a DNS or RDNS. We can say it's a RDNS. Okay, it's not a DNS. That is the advantage. Formally, what is the benefit? It's very easily, you can simply to deploy any operating system that you want to protect. It is a fast and high scalable. So the third one, true or false, does Umbrella have a managed service provider MSP offering? Yes, because it is a cloud-based. So it is you can centralize to manage and you can push the policy to the endpoint. This is how it works. So now the time for the question and answer. So sister, can you stop the recording? Hello? Can you stop the recording, sister? We'll start the question and answer, then we'll